This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you today after Rangers' dreadful start to the season continued, was cemented, however you want to put it, with a 2-1 defeat here to Hibs at Ibrox Stadium. And the great Walter Smith once said that you're never more than 3 games away from a crisis at Rangers. Well, it's here, 3 games into the season, following on from the draw at Tannadice and then the defeat in Poland. Rangers really needed to show something today, and unfortunately what happened was things we've seen far too often, things within our control and things out with our control, but they popped up to make this almost like a greatest hits of bad days. First of all, a scandalous refereeing decision. Hibs were awarded a penalty after a VAR intervention after 10 minutes. Nobody in the stadium had a clue, including the players, what it was given for, because none of the Hibs players claimed for it. The referee ran over to the monitor, gave it, and Hibs scored the penalty. Having seen it back, it's an absolute disgrace of a decision. It is disgusting. And again, it's Matthew McDermott on VAR, a guy who's at the centre of far too many of these to continue to do it. But there's a VAR, an assistant VAR, and then the referee, and the 3 of them look at that and think it's a penalty. It's never a penalty for a so-called foul by Dragojevic, and he gets booked for it just to cement it. An absolute disgrace. The SFA, of course, will try to ban people from talking about it. They'll try to ban people from their stadiums if they criticise it. They'll try to ban managers. If they do, they'll scrap the KMI panel. But when you're getting decisions like that scar the game and change the game dramatically, if they're not corrupt, they're inept. There's only 2 solutions, because it's all the time. And if that's the case, they shouldn't be referees. Matthew McDermott in particular should be nowhere near the Scottish Premier League. After that, Rangers huffed and puffed, but didn't have enough quality. Did have one decent effort from that came about after great work by Daisuke Yokota, who looked very good today. Actually, he looked like he could bring a bit of much needed creativity to the side longer term, and he's pulled one back for Yusuf Chermiti, but his shot was cleared off the line. And then Chermiti, who had been subject to a bid, a club record bid, which means it was over £20 million, which Rangers turned down, then got injured, and unfortunately it looked like a bad one. It was one of those you couldn't write this moments, and obviously we hope that it isn't as bad as it looked at the time. And into the second half, manager Derek McInnes made a few changes to try and get Rangers moving a little bit. And to be fair, in the second half, Rangers were the dominant side with a lot of the ball. Again, there was a lot of effort without really any significant reward. We did make some chances. Lawrence Shankland, there's a shot that goes through the keeper but unfortunately loops up onto the bar. There's a header from the Nadiri. There were a couple of balls flashed across the box, and I just was beginning to think, it's one of those days when Rangers did get the equaliser. Some good work on the flank between Asgard and the substitute Jaidi Gassama, and the ball was turned into the net by a Hibs player. But when Rangers pushed for the winner, a total sucker punch in injury time. Hibs break, get lots of player running with the ball, and Wright slots home from outside the box. And you could feel it in the stadium here. The fans just punch drunk already. It doesn't feel like a new season. It feels like a continuation of the old. And Derek McInnes has got a real problem on his hand, because this side isn't functioning at the moment. We're too easy to score against, and we find it too hard to score. So far in the games we've seen pre-season and now, Rangers have scored 2 penalties, 1 Asgard goal and 2 own goals. So there straight away is a problem. And clean sheets are a huge problem as well, because the defence, although McCann came in and looked not bad today, Fernandes still looks really dozy. He just hasn't started this season at all. And right back is a problem. Today the manager played Finlay Courtesy in the second half rather than bring on one of the right backs who were on the bench. So a dreadful day, a dreadful start. There's no getting away from it. But at times like this, people will say, the fans, they can get a bit toxic, or the fans are angry and, they're so negative. We can't change this. Only the players can change this by getting results, by putting in performances that are better than what we've seen this season. Rangers need to be better than this. Refereeing standards are in the toilet, I know, but Rangers still need to be better at the stuff we can control. We've got to score more, and we've, the great David Moyes quote, we've got to score more and concede less. It really is that simple. But right now, Rangers are sleepwalking into another disastrous early season, and that's something that we can't afford. Thursday's a must-win. I mean, there's no ifs, ands or buts about it. If we don't win, then it goes from crisis to, I don't know, what's the next step up from that? And, the players now have got to look in the mirror, and they've got to be the ones who deliver. They're here at a big club earning big money because they have the ability, apparently, to do so. It's time to do that. Rangers do need more recruitment, there's no doubt about that. But the players who are here should have been capable of doing better in the matches that we've seen so far. And so far, it has not been good enough. Thank you for listening.